Well, hello and welcome to the most innovative metaphysical reading on the internet. This is the Tao Manifesting Tarot. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You can't buy time or more time in your life. Whatever time you have is what you got. So I realize this is an investment from you. Thank you. I don't take it lightly. So let's get to what the heck makes the Tao Manifesting Tarot so special. It is very innovative. It is metaphysical. I'll explain that in a moment. It gives you the big picture. That's really what makes it different. Connects 3D to the 5D. There's no fantasy, no unicorn stuff, no rainbows, no woo anything. What we do is reveal the matrix. Could be your personal, could be global, but not just simply revealing the matrix. We got more, much more, because tarot is manifesting. It is literally human kryptonite. It is the power that is within each of us to shape our lives. Now, here's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. Much of what we value has been given to us by the people who control us. And so, because of that, if we buy into their system, we are making them richer, we're making them stronger, we're making them more tyrannical, and making us weaker. Okay, that's the way. I mean, you wouldn't have it any other way. If it's your system, you want to keep the power in your system, not give it away. So, tarot is the science of your potential to be able to manifest, to make pictures in your own brain. That's how it becomes so strong. That's how it becomes the kryptonite. Literally, the tarot portion of this reading is the ultimate destination in this current experience. Comes from the tarot frequency. I only use 3 cards. Nikola Tesla said if you understood the power of 3, you'd understand how the universe operates. Well, 3 does have sort of a, and I'll put this in quotes, magical quality to it because we use 3s in all kinds of things. So at least intuitively, we understand that there is a special power to 3. So I only use 3 cards. I combine the frequencies into one frequency that you can access and understand. That's the point of this reading, is to have you understand. I've done tarot for over 20 years. I've found, from my experience, it doesn't predict a damn thing. However, it is the science of your potential to manifest, your potential to create kryptonite in your life and have some impact on your life, own your life. But that's not the only thing. The tarot is the destination for this reading. But like any destination, you need a map to get there. So using the cycles of time, that is cycles within cycles within cycles, I'm talking about numerology, astrology. I've done those things for 50 years. Again, tarot for 20. So I've been in this game a little bit. But understanding the cycles from numerology, from astrology, you can guide yourself to your destination. And it's important to have that information because history repeats. You've heard the expression, history keeps repeating. Well, the reason it keeps repeating is because the astrological and numerological cycles, again, we're talking frequencies here, they keep repeating. Could be from month to month, year to year, decade to decade, 500 years, 1,000 years, 20,000 years ago. But cycles, small ones, huge ones, they keep repeating. When that happens, the experience, the energy comes back differently, not the same as the last time or the time before, but the energy is the same. And that's important because if you want to take the tarot energy and if you want to get to the point where it becomes your kryptonite, you have to know what the hell is going on around you. And it's amazing to me how many people don't. So having the astrological, numerological insights is very important because it's, let's say somebody wanted to put you, let's say you don't know anything about anything and somebody puts you in the middle of New York or LA or wherever, Miami, it doesn't make any difference. But you're not familiar with that. And in fact, you're really not familiar with anything but your own immediate area, wherever you lived, and somebody just tosses you into this major city, this metropolis, you're lost. So having the energies, the frequencies, the cycles from the numerology, astrology, helps place that tarot energy more effectively. Okay? So that's the point of it. It's the point of you understanding, you feeling, you touching, you seeing, you smelling. Knowing these repetitive patterns can teach us about the future. It's not magic, it's simply knowing a cycle. Stop and think about it. You have a daily routine, things that you do every day. That's a cycle. So in this tarot reading, not only do you know about your potential destination, the tarot, but you also have a pretty good idea what it's going to feel like, what energy is going to be experienced by you. And that's important to make decisions as to how you are going to use your kryptonite, that tarot energy. That's why the tarot is our destination. But we use numerology and astrology to help paint the picture. Today, the Tao Manifested Tarot Readings idea is another brick in the wall. Pincus Floydus, another brick in the wall. Now, often that expression, another brick in the wall, means that you're just part of this matrix. You're just part, you don't amount to anything. You're just another brick in the wall. No big deal. But today in the reading, the energy is a little different. Talks about building blocks. Talks about building. So, yes, in your life, you are building something. Or you can choose to be another brick in the wall. That's the beauty of tarot. You can go yes, no, doesn't make any difference. Nah, I just soon stay where I am. It's shit, but I don't really care. Or you can flip that a little bit and say, instead of being another brick in the wall, how about if I start to build my life? Make it something better. Now keep in mind, and this is very difficult for people, not all of us are meant to be good looking or rich or famous or whatever. And yet we've been conditioned by the people that run our lives to go after those things. Why? Because it makes them richer, us poorer. You and I each individually have I'll call it a spiritual destiny. And that's what we need to go to. And that's where this tarot reading will help you. And the numerology and the astrology just kind of paint the picture for you to make it a little bit easier. We're going to get to this evolutionary journey with you in a moment, but first I want to remind you, I do have an email, one and only one. It is tau-tarot@proton.me, tau-tarot@proton.me. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to be kind. Just be you. Be honest, though. A lot of times people get bitchy for the sake of being bitchy. I understand it. Considering the condition of the world, there's a lot of bitchiness going on. But asking for a little honesty. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down. It's okay. It's fine. Believe me, I'm not going to be hurt. But I appreciate the connection and more coming in every day. That's tau-tarot@proton.me, and I thank you in advance. So let's get to it. Astrologic for today. We're looking at the astrology. And keeping in mind the idea of building something. Interestingly, I came across a couple of stories that you're going to see in just a moment that kind of help out in that direction considerably. And that has to do with the idea of building. Back in the 1940s, we were, of course, in World War II, right in the middle of it. During a time like that, very often inventions are offered up. There was a lady in the early 1940s, early days of the American participation in World War II, who surprised everybody with an invention that was very helpful. It helped the United States keep the German submarines from bombing our boats. But it did a whole lot more than that. The person's name was Hedy Lamarr. She was a femme fatale in the movies in Hollywood in the 1940s. And man, she was a looker. Do you know what? She was also very, very smart. She developed something called frequency hopping. Now, at the time, it wasn't developed because it was brand new and they really didn't know what the potential was. It was useful for what they wanted in terms of Nazi submarines, torpedoes, that kind of stuff, kind of helping the U.S. Navy. But down the road, we now have discovered that Hedy Lamarr invented what is called wireless, the Wi Fi. What she developed in the 1940s, that frequency hopping, we now call Wi Fi. And it took a lot of years for that stuff to come together. It is a Uranian cycle. In fact, at the time she did that, Saturn and Uranus were in Gemini. Gemini's communication, quick communication. Saturn and Uranus together, that gives stability. In other words, it was going to stick around for a while. It was a pretty good idea. Radical because Uranus was involved, but nevertheless, hey. Well, we have cycles, Uranian cycles run about 85 years, 84, 85 years. So you cut that in half, that's about 42. And you find out that the halfway cycle between her invention and today is about late 80s, early 90s, just as the public became really aware of Wi-Fi communications. And you see, we're dealing with the effects now. Well, there's a lot of potential in this invention from Hedy Lamarr called wireless frequency. It's also being used against us. But nobody knew that at the time. At the time, it was there to solve a problem, safety of the U.S. Navy from German U-boats. It was phenomenal. Frequency hopping. Halfway between then and now, that's when we hit the midpoint, as they call it in astrology, and boom, people start to become aware of this technology, but now it's overwhelming us. And with that in mind, how about if we go to the ever popular meme of the day? Yeah. All has to do with digital IDs, all has to do with this same kind of technology. That's what it's all about, digital IDs. They want to control us. Here's RFK talking about the digital ID that would punish every one of us, control us. A lady, Catherine Austin Fitts, talking about digital ID, once linked to artificial intelligence and programmable money, gives the bad guys control out of every area of our life, including our behavior. Glenn Beck says America has to reject digital ID because they're going to track every single part of your life. They'll have a tube up your ass, down your throat, and they're going to know everything that you're thinking. That's what they're planning on doing. In fact, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla says they have at Pfizer developed an electronic tracking pill. They don't have to stick you with a shot anymore. No. Just take this pill. We'll follow you. Now, again, we go back to Hedy Lamarr. Back in the 1940s, she was there to help the American Navy protect itself, developing frequency hopping. But we've taken that same technology to new lows. And we are on the verge of having to make a decision, yes or no. I am hoping people say no. Let's go to the missing link. Here's Matt Taibbi, one of the very best and most honest reporters in the world today. He's speaking in front of Congress And he said that former Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard was placed in a surveillance program called Quiet Skies. They said, or he said, Matt Taibbi told Congress, look, if they can do it to her, they can do it to all of us. This is civil liberties problems, red flags all over the place. But the point of the matter is, here we have frequency hopping to help U.S. Navy. The building blocks put together year after year after year by the globalists turn it into something we now have to be afraid of. And just as a reminder, I have this little note here from Charmaine Daly. She says, just remember, when they say it's mandatory, that's not the same as law. When they require, that's not law. When they mandate it, that's not law. When they request, that's not law. When they order, that's not law. When they call it an ordinance, that's not a law. It's a compulsory. It's not a law. It's not in the Constitution, hasn't been approved by Congress. It's not a law. We have to keep that in mind. I mean, really keep that in mind. You want to talk about building blocks? Another brick in the wall? What are you going to be? Just another brick in the wall, or are you going to build something better? You got to stand up like now. Let's go take a look at the tarot manifested reading. We got the Three of Swords. It's a painful card if you're familiar with it. The picture of a card with three swords in it. Swords are information. It doesn't have to be good, bad, honest, truthful, just information. And this card says there is conflict and heartache. Has been for a long time. You're just aware of it, and that creates more conflict and heartache. Man, it's amazing to see how many people are just, they're finally getting the message. They're finally pulling their head out of their asses and going, okay, what the hell's going on? And them realizing what's going on, getting a whiff of what's going on, scares the shit out of them. You going to be another brick in the wall, or are you going to build with that brick? Next card is the Justice card, Truth and Fairness. That's what's going to make the difference. That will tell us whether you're going to be just a brick or you're going to build something. But of course, you got to get over the conflict and heartache of the Three of Swords. If you do that, you're going to tune into Truth and Fairness. And the final card is the Six of Cups. It's the good old days. We're never going to go back to the good old days because they never really existed. It was us as children observing the world. We didn't see everything. Neither did our parents. Can't blame them, though. Point of the matter is, you need to take that feeling. Remember, we're talking cups. We're talking emotions. We're talking an emotional connection. Go back to those feel-good moments. Take on that conflict and heartache, realizing what a shithole we're living in. Step forward with truth and fairness and say, okay, whatever it is, let's get to it. Again, you going to be a brick in the wall, or are you going to build with that brick? Up to you. Out of time. Thank you very much for being here. As I said earlier, you can't buy more time. There's no such thing. I don't care how rich you are. So coming here is an investment for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I take it very seriously. Help me out and other podcasters who are of value. Please like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. They're watching, they're listening, and they're planning. Like and subscribe. What do you want to be, a brick in the wall? Or do you want to build with that brick? Your choice. Alrighty, so now, between now and the next time that we get a chance to do this tarot thing together and manifest, peace and blessings.